Okay. So in the third unit, we are studying about, we have studied about stability of nonlinear systems. So one of the analysis is describing function we have studied. What is describing function? We are limiting our input to sinusoidal in nature, and we are assuming the output consisting of fundamental component and harmonics. But the linear part of the system is having low pass characteristics, and it is eliminating the harmonic, and output is consisting of only fundamental. We are deriving the describing function for the system or for the nonlinearity, which is a function of input amplitude. Based on that, we are checking whether the system is stable or unstable, whether limit cycle exists or not. If limit cycle exists, what are the magnitudes and frequency of oscillations? So, and in this entire analysis, we are not talking about the magnitude of input we are giving. We are not constraining the x. So, as far as describing function analysis is concerned, we are assuming that input x is x sine omega t, where x is the amplitude of the system, amplitude of the input. We are not giving any constraint on that. Okay, so that's why it is applicable for any magnitude of input. And this process we call it as harmonic linearization. The second one is we have studied about phase plane trajectories or phase plane analysis, where if x of t is the state of the system, as time proceeds, how that x of t is changing, how the states are changing. We are pointing them and we are observing how the system state is changing. If it is converging towards the equilibrium point, it is stable. If it is moving away from the equilibrium point, it is unstable. And if it is forming any closed path, then it is said to be limit cycle, where the same set of states are repeated unless otherwise disturbed. If you are giving any disturbance, if it is again making same oscillations, it is stable limit cycle. If it is not making that oscillations and going to nearby equilibrium point, it is unstable limit cycle. This is the analysis. But what is the limitation for this? It is only limited to second order system. That means the number of state variables are to be only 2, because if number of state variables increases, the trajectory need to be drawn in 3-dimensional or n-dimensional space, which is not possible to draw on a paper. So on a paper we can have 2 dimension. So that's why the trajectory construction analysis is limited to second order. So in that we have seen for isoplane method, one of the method. There are many such methods. We have studied isoplane method. Now in the fourth unit, we are going to study about Lyapunov stability analysis. So Lyapunov is a mathematician who invented a procedure for determining the stability and design of controllers also, for which is a method which is applicable for both linear as well as non-linear systems, which is applicable for linear as well as non-linear systems. Okay, now what is the motivation for Lyapunov stability analysis? So eigenvalue analysis does not hold good for nonlinear systems. So if linear system is there, we can calculate the transfer function, and for that we can calculate the closed loop poles or state space model from that eigenvalues. If there is a negative real part for eigenvalues, we can say that system is stable. For nonlinear systems, we don't have such eigenvalue concept. And for linear systems, origin is the only equilibrium point. So unless otherwise any input is given, all the state variable values must be 0. It will become 0 for a stable system. Okay, origin is the only equilibrium point. For nonlinear systems, there are, so it is possible to have multiple equilibrium points and limit cycles. Limit cycle is nothing but oscillatory nature. Okay, stability. In case of linear systems, whenever we are saying about stability, we are not talking about local or global. There is only one stability concept, stable or unstable. That's it. But in case of nonlinear system, it is not like that. For example, while studying nonlinear systems itself, we have explained. Suppose this is the nature. These peak points are valley points. If the system is at this particular state, they are stable. If they are disturbed, it will come to nearby equilibrium point. So ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఒక స్టోన్ ఇక్కడ ఉందనుకోండి ఈ వాల్యూ పాయింట్ దగ్గర. If you are giving any input in either directions, if the magnitude is such that it is not reaching this point, it will oscillate here and again come to same point. So if you are giving a larger magnitude of input here in this direction, then there is a chance that it may reach this point and remain here, or it may cross this point and enter this point. So there are so many equilibrium points are there, not only one. But for linear system, origin is the only equilibrium point. Okay. And stability. So here stability is different, here stability is different, here stability is different. ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర తీసుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, చిన్న డిస్టర్బెన్స్ కూడా ఇట్ విల్ మూవ్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ పాయింట్. ఇక్కడ ఈవెన్ ఫర్ లార్జర్ మ్యాగ్నిట్యూడ్స్ ఆల్సో it will remain here only, but after making some oscillations it will come to same position. So talking the stability in the entire state space is not possible in case of nonlinear systems. We need to talk about the local stability. What is the stability at this point? What is the stability at this point? What is the stability at this point? Like that. So stability behavior of nonlinear system need not be always global. Global means entire state space. It is not possible. For linear systems, we are talking only about stability because there is no question of multiple equilibrium points. There is only one equilibrium point, origin. So we need to exploit the control design, and we need to have a systematic approach to design the system, whether it is linear or non-linear. So these are the points which lead for the Lyapunov to design a new procedure. So what is the concept of Lyapunov method? So in case of describing function, harmonic linearization. In case of trajectory, how the state is changing. In case of Lyapunov, he considered that for a given system, in general, what is the concept? If the system is having more energy, it will be stable, or if the system is having less energy, it will be stable. Answer. I am expecting the answer. Chat box lo kada mic on chesi cheppandi evaro okkaru. Anyone? What is the relation between energy and stability? రెండు సిస్టమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఒకదానికి ఎక్కువ ఎనర్జీ ఉంది, ఒకదానికి తక్కువ ఎనర్జీ ఉంది. Which is more likely to be stable? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
చెప్పండి, ఆన్సర్ చెప్పండి. ఎనర్జీ ఎక్కువ అయితే సిస్టమ్ అన్స్టేబుల్ అవుతుందా, స్టేబుల్ అవుతుందా?
Unstable, sir.
So whenever there is energy is keep on increasing, we can say that the system is unstable. If the energy is decreasing with respect to time, at some point its entire energy will be lost and it will be stable. If the energy is not changing, constant energy, then it is called conservative system. We cannot say that it is stable or unstable. It is a conservative system. So based on this, we need to determine a mathematical approach. Okay. So for better understanding, I am considering a simple mass damper system. So there is a mass, unit mass I am taking, m equal to 1 unit. So K represents elasticity and B represents friction. Whenever we are applying some input like this, input if force F is applied, then it will make some displacement, isn't it? So whenever there is no external force, whatever forces that are due to mass or friction or elasticity, all these sum must be equal to 0. Okay. So whenever there is no input, external input, what do we call that system? External input లేకపోతే ఆ సిస్టమ్ ఏమంటాం? In the second unit we have studied x dot equal to ax plus b is the general equation. Whenever u is 0, we are calling it as x dot equal to ax. What is that system called? Anyone? 73?
Homogeneous equation, sir.
Homogeneous. సెకండ్ యూనిట్లో హోమోజీనియస్ వచ్చిందమ్మా, థర్డ్ యూనిట్లో వచ్చింది హోమోజీనిటీ సూపర్ పొజిషన్ అనేవి. 61. See, our college is autonomous, isn't it? Because some functions we are doing on our own, we are not taking any external input. So whenever there is no external input, we call that system as autonomous system. So this analysis we are doing for autonomous systems. That means external input is 0, F is 0. So what is the force due to mass, inertia? M d square x by dt square. Force due to friction, B into dx by dt. Force due to elasticity, K or spring K into x. All these forces equal to 0. This is the differential equation governing the above system. Okay. So now we need to define the state variables. So first we are taking the displacement made by the system x as state variable, first state variable x1, and derivative of that x1 dot is taken as second state variable x2. So how many state variables are to be considered? In general, what is the basis? Number of state variables దేని మీద డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది? Number of state variables equal to number of energy storing elements in the system. So here the components are friction, mass and spring. So spring will store the energy in the form of potential energy. Okay. So K into x is the force and the energy stored in spring. Mass will store in the form of inertia. Friction will not store any energy. It is only dissipating energy. So two state variables, two energy storing elements, two state variables. So x equal to x1, x1 dot equal to x2. So x1 represents displacement, x1 dot represents x2, which is velocity. x1 dot ante ఏంటంటే dx by dt కదా, dx1 by dt, which is nothing but velocity. So from the given system differential equation, k into x1, x is x1, k into x1, b into x2, dx by dt is nothing but x1 dot, which is x2, b into x2, d square x by dt square, we can write it as d by dt of dx by dt. Okay. So dx by dt is nothing but x2. d by dt of dx by dt means x2 dot. Okay. x1 x, then first derivative x2, then second derivative x2 dot. Okay. So from this, what is x2 dot? ఈ రెండు టర్మ్స్ అవతల వైపు వెళ్తాయి. మైనస్ k by m into x minus b by m into dx by dt. dx by dt is nothing but x2. x is x1, dx by dt is x2. So from this we can write or rearrange the equations like this. x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to minus k into x1 minus b into x2. So in the analysis, whatever may be the system given to you, first write the differential equation governing the system, and then assume the state variables, which is equal to number of energy storing elements. Then write the equations governing them. So first order differential equations, x1 dot equal to something, x2 dot equal to something, x3 dot equal to something. So in general, if it is a linear system, these equations are linear in nature. If the system is non-linear, these equations may be non-linear in nature. So for linear system, we have x dot equal to ax, because A is a constant matrix for linear system. In case of nonlinear system, we call x dot equal to f of x, where f of x is, see, x1 dot equal to f1 of x, x2 dot equal to f2 of x, so on, xn dot equal to fn of x. All these functions combinedly represented as a matrix. We call it as f of x. Okay. Now, on what basis we are determining the stability? On the basis of energy, isn't it? So what is the total energy of the system? If E is the energy, the system have potential energy and kinetic energy. So what is the element storing the potential energy? Spring. So if x1 is the displacement made by the spring, or it is stretched, then the potential energy is half k x1 square, where x1 is the displacement. Kinetic energy formula, half mv square, kinetic energy formula. So half m is 1 unit mass we are taking, half m v square, v means velocity, dx by dt. So what is dx by dt? So dx by dt is nothing but x2. x1 dot is x2. So half k x1 square plus half x2 square. This is the mathematical expression which represents total energy of the system. Now I will calculate the derivative, dE by dt. So what is the physical meaning of dE by dt? How energy is changing with respect to time, dE by dt. So half k x1 square. For this, we are derivating with respect to time, isn't it? So half k, for x1 square it is 2x1. So 2x1 into dx1 by dt. So x1 with respect to t derivative just now. So 2x1 dx1 by dt. So dx1 by dt is nothing but x1 dot. Similarly, half x2 square, half into 2 into x2. For x2 derivative is x2 dot. Okay. Now this 2 and this 2 will be getting cancelled. So dE by dt is in terms of x1 dot and x2 dot. Okay. Now replace this x1 dot and x2 dot with these expressions. x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to minus kx1 minus bx2. So dE by dt equal to k into x1, x1 dot is x2, plus x2 into x2 dot. x2 dot means minus kx1 minus bx2. This is from this previous equation. m1 kadandi ikkada. So denominator 1 kabatti minus kx1 minus bx2. Okay. Now this kx1 x2 minus kx1 x2 will be getting cancelled. So minus b x2 square, dE by dt is minus b x2 square. So E is the energy, T is the time. dE by dt is representing how energy is changing with respect to time. So ఇది y ఇది x అనుకోండి, dy by dx పాజిటివ్ ఉంటే ఎలా ఉంటుంది? This is the nature with increasing value of t, positive slope. If dE by dt is negative, means negative slope, value will be decreasing with respect to time. So which represents stable system, 1 or 2? సో సిస్టమ్ స్టేబుల్గా ఉండాలంటే ఎనర్జీ ఎలా ఉండాలని చెప్పాం, డిక్రీజింగ్ ఇన్ నేచర్. ఎనర్జీ డిక్రీజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటే వీ కెన్ సే దట్ ద సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ స్టేబుల్. ఇఫ్ ద ఎనర్జీ ఈజ్ కీప్ ఆన్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ వీ కెనాట్ సే దట్ ద సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ stable, it will be unstable. So from this expression d by dt equal to minus b x2 square, we can say that the energy will be decreasing or d by dt is negative for all positive values of b. అంటే ఇక్కడ b పాజిటివ్ ఉందనుకోండి, x2 ఏదైనా సరే ఇది స్క్వేర్ కదా, ఆల్వేస్ పాజిటివ్. సో ఇఫ్ b is also positive, this total expression will be negative. So what is the physical meaning of B? The mathematical analysis anta cheyakunda kuda meer cheppachchu. If this mass is making a movement, x ante and displacement e kada. If this mass is making a movement, if the system is stable, will the mass come to rest or not? System mass oka mass anedi kadulutundi, aa kadiledi ఆగితే we can say that system is stable. అదే ఆకుండా అలా ఇన్ఫినిట్కి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది అనుకోండి, వీ సే దట్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ అన్స్టేబుల్, ఇజంట్ ఇట్? అది మనకి జనరల్గానే తెలుసు. ఒక బాడీ రెస్ట్లోకి రావాలంటే ఏముండాలి, ఈ రెండు సర్ఫేసెస్ మధ్యలో ఫ్రిక్షన్ ఉండాలి, అంతేనా? సో ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఈజ్ ఏ పాజిటివ్ ఫ్రిక్షన్, ద మాస్ విల్ కమ్ టు రెస్ట్ అండ్ వీ కెన్ సే దట్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ స్టేబుల్. అదే బి నెగిటివ్ అనుకోండి, అంటే నెగిటివ్ ఫ్రిక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి? Instead of opposing motion, it will accelerate the motion and the mass will keep on moving and it will move to infinity. So system will be unstable. So the mass will come to rest or the system will be stable if and only if B is positive. ఇది మనకి కాన్సెప్ట్ పరంగా తెలిసింది. But we have proved it now mathematically that by taking the total energy of the system and calculating the time derivative of the energy of the system and determining a condition for this to be stable, this expression must be negative. For this expression to be negative, it is observed that B must be positive. So B positive unte system stable avutundi and mass will come to rest. Okay, so this is the concept of or the essence of Lyapunov stability. Any doubts regarding this? On what basis the stability is explained? We need to find the total energy of the system mathematically and we need to observe how the energy is changing with respect to time. If the energy is decreasing with respect to time, it is stable. If the energy is increasing with respect to time, it is unstable. Any doubt up to this point? Anyone? Response. Nobody is responding. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
మన మాట వినబడుతుందా?
Yes, sir.
Then respond.
వినబడుతుంది సార్.
వినపడుతుందని చెప్పడం కాదు, కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమైంది, ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉందా అని అడుగుతున్నాను. లియాప్నో కాన్సెప్ట్
అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఓకే. Now, what are the mathematical definitions? ఇప్పుడు ఎనర్జీ ఇంక్రీజింగ్గా డిక్రీజింగ్గా అని చెప్తున్నాం కదా, how these definitions are mathematically explained in terms of Lyapunov. So if you observe the energy function in general, it is represented by letter V. This E energy function ఉంది కదా, this in general it is represented with letter V. Lyapunov function అంటాం దాన్ని. Okay, so if you observe what is the expression, half k x1 square plus half something into x1 square plus something into x2 square, this is equation of an ellipse, isn't it? So if this is V, this ellipse is representing the total energy of the system. As time proceeds, what is happening? The magnitude is decreasing. V ante entandi energy expression ఇప్పుడు సంథింగ్ ఈక్వల్ టు హాఫ్, ఈ V దేని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది? ఈ ఎలిప్స్ రేడియస్ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది మ్యాథమెటికల్గా. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ దిస్ V వాల్యూ is decreasing with respect to time, so these are the ellipses which is representing the total energy. and finally they are reaching this 0 point where x1 is 0 and x2 is 0. This is the equilibrium point. It is reaching this state if the system is stable. So initially V3 energy, after some time energy is decreasing, it has become V2. After some time it has become V1. After some time, as t tends to infinity, it will become 0 total energy. Okay, so if you draw this, it is a cup-like surface. If you start with any condition x1, x2, it will represent some energy, some point on the surface of this cup. As t increases, the trajectory will move over the surface and will reach this 0. దీన్నే మనం టాప్ వ్యూలో చూసామనుకోండి, x0 is the initial condition, x1 0, x2 0, initial state. As time proceeds, its trajectory is tending to 0 because the system is stable. అదే B positive, B negative ఉందనుకోండి, the trajectory will diverge from it. It will not reach this 0 because the energy keeps on increases. So this radius keeps on increases and finally it will reach infinite. Okay. Now, in order to determine the stability, what is to be determined? For this expression, we need to verify it is positive or negative, isn't it? So for that, there are some definitions. So a function V with domain and range D to R is said to be positive semi-definite in D if it satisfies the following conditions. First one is 0 belongs to D and V of 0 equal to 0 and V of x greater than or equal to 0 for all x belongs to D. What is the physical meaning of this means? We are having a system. If all the state variables are 0, x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, all the state variables are equal to 0, then this V of 0 equal to 0. And if you substitute any value of x, x1 equal to something, x2 equal to something, any value, its value will be definitely greater than or equal to 0. Means you will get either a 0 or some positive value for all values of x. Then we can say that the system is positive semi-definite. Semi and enduku vaadamante, it is not always positive. Sometimes it is also becoming 0. That's why it is called semi-definite. For example, in this case, dE by dt 0 ఎప్పుడు అవుతుందండి? x2 equal to 0 అయినప్పుడు, అంతేనా? So for all remaining values, what is happening? It is negative only. అంతేనా? x2 వాల్యూ మీరు ఎంతైనా పెట్టండి, b పాజిటివ్ అయినంతసేపు dA by dt నెగిటివ్ అవుతుంది. సో వీ కెన్ సే దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నెగిటివ్ డెఫినిట్. ఎప్పుడైనా నెగిటివ్ డెఫినిట్ అనొచ్చా దీన్ని? నెగిటివ్ సెమీ డెఫినిట్ అనాలా? It looks like semi-negative definite, but this expression is independent of x1. So x1 value ఎంత ఉన్నా సరే దీని మీద డిపెండెన్సీ లేదు. ఓకే, x1 1 పెట్టి x2 0 పెట్టినా, x1 2 పెట్టినా, 3 పెట్టినా, 4 పెట్టినా, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇండిపెండెంట్. సో not only x2 is 0, for some positive values of x1 also it is becoming 0 or negative definite. సో ఇప్పుడు x1 1 పెట్టాను అనుకోండి, x2 -1 పెట్టాను. సో ఇది x2 మీదే డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది. x1 ఎంత పెట్టినా సరే ఇది నెగిటివ్లోనే ఉంటుంది, అంతేనా? సో వీ కెనాట్ సే దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నెగిటివ్ డెఫినెట్. ఇట్ ఈస్ నెగిటివ్ సెమీ డెఫినెట్ బికాస్ ఇట్ మస్ట్ డిపెండ్ ఆన్ x1 ఆల్సో. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ ఇచ్చిన ఫంక్షన్ ఆరిజిన్ దగ్గర తప్ప వేరే ఏ స్టేట్ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసినా x1 x2 x3s, if that function is giving all positive values, we say that it is positive definite. V of x greater than 0. If it is greater than or equal to 0 means for any value of x it may be 0 or greater than 0, then we say that it is positive semi-definite. Okay. Similarly, negative definite అని ఎప్పుడు అంటాం? సో జనరల్గా మనం ఎప్పుడు పాజిటివ్ డెఫినెట్ గురించే చెప్తామండి. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ప్రూవ్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నెగిటివ్ డెఫినెట్, we take negative of that function minus v of x. For the given function, we take negative sign when we prove that it is positive definite. Okay. So stability in the sense of Lyapunov. So this is our equilibrium point. So we are talking about stability not in the entire state space, in the region epsilon. S of epsilon means sphere of epsilon, sphere with radius epsilon. If this is the equilibrium point, around this with a sphere of radius epsilon, we can determine the stability. So ఈ range లో ఇది stable అని చెప్పగలం. ఎప్పుడు? when if there exists a small region delta, sphere of delta, such that if the initial condition is within this delta, the trajectory will not leave this epsilon. That means an equilibrium point is said to be stable if you are able to define a region epsilon around that equilibrium point such that the trajectory will not leave this epsilon as far as its initial condition is within this delta. Okay, then the system is said to be stable. Okay, what is the next thing? Not only existing within this epsilon, as t tends to infinity, if it is reaching this equilibrium point, initial condition ekkadunna, first condition enti, this trajectory is not leaving this epsilon. Ee sphere lopale tirugutundi trajectory. Then we say that it is stable. As t tends to infinity, if the trajectory reaches the equilibrium point, then we say that the system is asymptotically stable. It is stable. It is asymptotically stable. So if the initial condition is within this delta, it will not leave this sphere epsilon. If it enters into a small region which is very close to equilibrium point, this delta is with respect to initial condition, and this small r is further less than delta. If the trajectory enters this zone, as t tends to infinity, it will definitely reach the equilibrium point. Then we can say that the system is asymptotically stable. Third one, we are limiting here initial condition ekkada unte ani, we are limiting the initial condition. If that condition is removed for any initial condition, if the above process takes place, initial condition ekkada తీసుకున్నా సరే ఈ రీజియన్ దాటట్లేదు అనుకోండి, ఈజ్ గ్లోబల్లీ స్టేబుల్. సపోజ్ ఇనిషియల్ కండిషన్ ఎక్కడ తీసుకున్నా సరే యాజ్ టీ టెన్స్ టు ఇన్ఫినిటీ అది ఈక్విలిబ్రియంకి వచ్చేస్తుంది అనుకోండి, వి సే దట్ ద సిస్టమ్ ఈస్ గ్లోబల్లీ asymptotically stable. Okay, any doubt regarding stability in the sense of Lyapunov? How they are mathematically explained? సో ఇప్పుడు ఒక పాయింట్ ఉందనుకోండి 2 డైమెన్షనల్ ప్లేన్లో, ఇది ఒక పాయింట్, ఈ పాయింట్ నుంచి ఒక 1 మీటర్ డిస్టెన్స్లో ఒక పాయింట్ తీసుకున్నాను. సో ఈ పాయింట్ నుంచి 1 మీటర్ డిస్టెన్స్లో నేను ఒక ఉన్న పాయింట్స్ అన్ని జాయిన్ చేశాను అనుకోండి, ఏమవుతుంది? ఐ విల్ గెట్ ఎ సర్కిల్. సారీ, సో ఇఫ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ పాయింట్, ఎనీ పాయింట్ విత్ ఇన్ దిస్ సర్కిల్ రిప్రజెంట్స్ వాట్? whose distance from this will be definitely less than 1 meter. అంతేనా? ఈ సర్కిల్ రేడియస్ 1 మీటర్ అనుకోండి, ఈ సర్కిల్లో మనం ఏ పాయింట్ తీసుకున్నా దాని డిస్టెన్స్ దీనికంటే 1 మీటర్ లోపే ఉంటుంది. ఇజంట్ ఇట్? సో ఇక్కడ 2 పాయింట్స్ ఉంటే డిస్టెన్స్ అన్నాం. అలా n డైమెన్షనల్ స్పేస్ ఉంటే వీ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ నార్మ్, యూక్లిడియన్ నార్మ్, వేర్ నార్మ్ ఎక్స్ రిప్రజెంట్స్ the distance from origin. ఇది ఆరిజిన్ అనుకోండి, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆరిజిన్. X represent any state. The origin, this represents any state. Then the distance from it is nothing but norm X. Okay. It may be 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional or n-dimensional. Now, how they are mathematically explained. So, stable and eppudu cheptunam, if the initial condition x of 0 is within this delta, ఈ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం పాయింట్ నుంచి డెల్టా కంటే తక్కువలో ఉంటే నార్మ్ రిప్రజెంట్స్, ఇది సర్కిల్, ఇది స్పియర్ అన్నాం కదా, ఎస్ ఆఫ్ డెల్టా, దిస్ ఈజ్ అవర్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం పాయింట్ ఎక్స్ఈ. సో ఈ ఎక్స్ఈ నుంచి ఈ ఇనీషియల్ కండిషన్, if this is less than this sphere of delta, the initial condition is at a distance less than this from the equilibrium point, then x of t ante entandi trajectory, the trajectory will not leave this epsilon. Okay, so for if the initial condition is within this delta of epsilon, the state of the system will not leave the sphere of radius epsilon. Then the system is said to be stable. If it is not happening, we say that it is unstable. Convergence. If the initial condition is less than delta, and in addition to that, as time tends to infinity, our state is approaching equilibrium. So, equilibrium point reach the trajectory as t tends to infinity. Then we say that the equilibrium point is asymptotically stable. If both the conditions hold good with removing constraint on the initial condition, then we say that it is globally stable or globally asymptotically stable. So this is about the concept of Lyapunov. What is Lyapunov stability? What is the motivation behind this? And on what basis these processors are developed? And what is the definition of stability in the sense of Lyapunov? So these are the definitions in the sense of Lyapunov. What is stable? What is asymptotically stable? What is globally asymptotically stable? If you have any doubts, ask me. Anyone? No doubts unte adagandi. Otherwise, we will continue in the next class. In the next class, we will see what are the theorems. Lyapunov stability theorems. What are the limitations that are existing in this analysis till now we have studied. Anyone? Any doubts? నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి అమ్మా. ఎవరికి ఏ డౌట్ లేదా? ఏమీ అర్థం కాలేదు. (214) is speaking, but I am unable to hear. You can express in chat. Chat లోనే అడగండి. Just type followed or not followed, so that I can repeat or I can do anything based on that. Those who followed the concept, just type followed in the chat box. If unable to follow, just type unable to follow. I can observe from the chat box. ఏదో కేటగిరీలో ఉండాలి, అయితే ఫాలో అవ్వాలి లేకపోతే ఫాలో అవ్వకూడదు. రెండో రెస్పాన్స్ లేకపోతే ఎలాగా చాట్లో? ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు ఫాలో, జస్ట్ టైప్ ఫాలోడ్. unable to follow, type not able to follow. You express, because unless otherwise you can't able to digest this concept, it is not possible to understand the next concepts of Lyapunov. as far as this PPT is concerned, it is not yet completed. Once it is completed, I will share with you. See, you at least you respond in the chat box. Am I audible? ఎస్ సార్ అంటే అట్లీస్ట్ మీకు అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటాను. నో సార్ అంటే అర్థం కాలేదు అనుకుంటాను. ఏదో ఒకటి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేయండి చాట్ బాక్స్లో. యూ సెడ్ ఎదర్ ఎస్ ఆర్ నో. ఎస్ అంటే ఫాలో అయినట్టు, నో అంటే ఫాలో అవ్వలేదని. మీ రోల్ నెంబర్లు గుర్తుపెట్టేసుకుని మేము ఏమీ చేసేది లేదు. అది ఎవరికి అర్థం కాకపోతే వాళ్ళకి ఇంకోసారి అది చెప్పడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాం. అవర్ ఇంటెన్షన్ ఈస్ టు మేక్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్ క్లియర్ ఫర్ యూ. Okay, so in the today's class we observed that to determine the stability of a system we need to determine the energy function and we need to determine the sign definiteness of that function, whether it is increasing or decreasing, means positive or negative. So to determine these two, what are the things to be known? ఒక ఫంక్షన్ ఇస్తే అది ఇంక్రీజింగా డిక్రీజింగా, మీన్స్ పాజిటివ్ డెఫినెటా నెగిటివ్ డెఫినెటా ఎలా చెప్పాలి అనేది there is a criteria called Sylvester's criteria. Whenever a quadratic function is given to you, how to determine the nature of function, whether it is positive definite or negative definite, positive semi-definite or indefinite, what is the procedure, and from that how to infer the stability of the system. We will see in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubts, ask me. Otherwise, you can leave. CRs, send the attendance, B section attendance to me and A section attendance to Harvamsi sir.